The late, great Eddie Guerrero was able to make himself a household name by embracing the more sports entertainment-y side of professional wrestling, doing the Latino heat with China, the I'm Here Poppy with little baby Dominic, back when Dominic was cute and adorable. Remember when Dominic was adorable and not a felon, a criminal, a sleazebag with a greasy mullet? Eddie would do the thing where he'd throw the chair at his opponent or whatever, and his opponent would catch it. And then Eddie would take the bump, and the referee would turn around and be like, "You got the chair. What'd you hit him with the chair?" And his opponent would be like, "I didn't hit him with the chair. He threw the chair at me. I didn't hit him with the chair." The referee's like, "I saw you got the chair in your hand. He's on the floor. Clearly, you hit him with the chair." It was great. It was all fucking great. Eddie knew how to embrace the character side of things. He wasn't always like that. He was rather dry in his earlier years, early WCWs when I kind of came across Eddie Guerrero. And it wasn't really until the LWO stuff that he started to kind of come out of his shell as a personality, but he was always a great worker. But man, once he finally came out of his shell in WWE, he came out of his shell like came flying out of that bitch and became one of the biggest stars in the entire industry ever, period. Especially with the Latinos. One of the things that got him over with the Latinos, besides just, being a Latino heat, was embracing the culture. And part of that was the Lowrider. He came out with the Lowrider every single week. A different Lowrider from that city or whatever. But the most famous Lowrider was the one that Eddie posed with in Lowrider magazine. It was an orange Lowrider. Eddie had the United States title on his shoulder at the time. He was posing with pictures in front of the car and around the car, that sort of thing. Well, that car now has come up for sale and was purchased. And you will never guess in a million years who bought the fucking thing. Check out this clip.
The belt did not come with the car, but it is Eddie Guerrero belt. So once we found out this car, which the guy never knew and probably still doesn't when he sold it to me, that this was a famous person's car, Eddie Guerrero. So this car was on the front cover of Lowrider magazine twice, and we have the magazines, they're probably here. And he died, and he was a WWE professional wrestler. Like Rey Mysterio, he wrestled with the Von Erichs in Texas, and everybody you can mention. Eddie Guerrero is one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. And this was his car, and he came out to this. When he had a big bout inside of a stadium, he would drive this car out, have the music going, and get out, and let's go. Take his buddy and throw him and slam him down and, do the whole thing. Somehow it made it through the maze to find it to that guy who knows nothing, and then somehow it was summoned up on me who does know it. He called me up because you're the only guy I know that has anything to do with these lowriders in this whole entire Florida. This is not a big thing.
This lowrider is very, very cool.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, Rob is calling me, "Man, I got this lowrider here. They don't know what to come." I said, "Okay, buy it for me." Right? And he did. He negotiated a good deal. We didn't even we didn't realize, we didn't completely realize. I mean, it's like some wrestler, right? Some wrestler. And it was like, we didn't really realize whose car it was because I didn't follow wrestling that much. I mean, if I didn't know who 50 Cent was, I sure as heck didn't know who this Mexican wrestler was.
Right.
But then I brought it here, and the guys that were working on his lowrider at the time, right? They're Mexican guys and stuff like that. And I drive up on this and they jump out. "It's Eddie's car. You got Eddie's car." I got Eddie who?
Yeah.
That is Eddie Guerrero's car.
Yeah.
Well, he was the world famous champion, greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
And that's his belt. And it was, that's Eddie right there. He died young. He used to enter the ring in a lowrider. And this was on magazine covers, everything.
This car cost
and
you
we
$100
didn't
grand
know.
to make it, man.
So
What did we pay,
I got it.
15
Yeah.
grand for it, bro.
So clearly neither one of those guys know anything about professional wrestling at all. It's always cringe. Neither one of them know who Eddie Guerrero is. Vanilla Ice maybe plausibly had heard the name before or watched him on TV a time or two. But that old guy certainly had no fucking clue. Just the way he said, he like speaks of Eddie Guerrero like he was the second coming of Hulk Hogan or something. Like it was Hulk Hogan, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it was Eddie Guerrero. You know, it was like this greatest wrestler of all time guy. He was certainly one of the greatest of all times, and I like that they're embracing that it's not just a thing where Vanilla Ice is like, oh, well, you know, it was his car, but it's mine now. Shit. Like, he's embracing it. He's keeping, you know, he's got the championship belt to go with it, the Eddie Guerrero championship belt, which I saw popped up in a music video, by the way. Vanilla Ice did a rap video with Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse, and they were rapping, I believe it was in front of this car with that championship belt. I'll splice in a clip of that here if I can find it.
TKO, you're John Doe, cheap keys from Mexico. Ice. Go ninja, go ninja, go!
Or Remember To, for that matter. But Eddie Guerrero, I like that they're keeping, you know, he's embracing it. He's like, okay, this was Eddie's car, so look, here's the framed Lowrider cover, here's the fucking Eddie Guerrero version of the world title that goes with the car now. It's just part of the car, it's in the collection. Like, it's dope. It's very cool because he doesn't have to do that. You know, he could make it his own car, or at the very least, you know, if he doesn't do anything different with it, he just doesn't have to recognize. But he's keeping it as this is Eddie Guerrero's car, bro. Bro, did you know this is Eddie Guerrero's car? I like that. I think that's fucking cool. And props to Vanilla Ice for that. I'm glad Suge Knight didn't drop him over the edge of that railing, and that he was still here to take good care of Eddie Guerrero's Lowrider. Oh, boy. I don't like that he kind of swindled the guy, though. I don't know if that makes it into my clip here or not, but Vanilla Ice tells the story of the guy he bought the car from, and that the guy had no idea what he had. Not only did he lie to him about lowriders not really being worth much these days, but he had no idea it was Eddie Guerrero's car. So Vanilla Ice just swindled this fucking guy out of this car. You know, I think there's a little bit of, look, on one hand, you could look at that and be like, shit, you got a good deal. You know what I mean? Like, if a guy doesn't know what he has and you can get a good deal, get a good deal. That's the art of the deal, right? It's doing business. That's how it's done on one hand. But then, you know, like the Pawn Stars do. Somebody will come in and be like, oh, I found this sword in my attic. I think it's worth like $100. And they'll be like, dude, this is like an ancient Aztecian fucking militia sword, and it's worth 10 grand, you idiot. They'll just lie to him and be like, yeah, I don't know, 100, I'll give you like 85 for that. And they'll be like, oh, he could easily. But no, they do the decent human being thing, and then they go, hey, man, just to let you know, this sword's worth way the fuck more than that. I still ain't going to give you shit for it. I'll give you like $300 for it, but it's worth like 10 grand. You know, I got to clean it up, take it to a guy. It's going to sit in the shop for a little while. Got to pay the auction fees, you know. I think it's cool that Vanilla Ice has Eddie Guerrero's car. I think it's cool that it's being taken care of. It's almost like you saw Vanilla Ice has like a car museum, like fucking, like he's, what's it, Jay Leno or some shit. You know, what's up with all these rich people in their cars? I would not have a goddamn car collection. Cars lose value, first of all, unless it's like some kind of, though I will say, you know, he had like a Model T in his garage and shit. I'd have a Model T. There's a couple cars I would get. I'd have a Dukes of Hazzard's car, for sure. I would want 2 Dukes of Hazzard's cars. I would want an original. Then I would want a modern one, but I would want it black on black, like matte black on shiny black or whatever. And just fucking black on black on black on black on black. Get rid of the rebel flag off the top of that shit. Put like a Punisher skull flag up there. Fuck yeah. That would be sweet. Get like an old Model T. That would be fun. Tesla. I want a Tesla. Pickup truck when you gotta haul around like dead bodies or, you know, dirt or brush from your yard or something like that. Whatever you're unloading, hauling, dropping in the middle of the ocean, whatever it is. But I don't get having a full car garage full of fucking $100,000, $10 million cars and shit. I don't know. That's just me. But it would be pretty cool to have Eddie Guerrero's Lowrider. So props to that. Also, Vanilla Ice. It's good to see. Looks good. Doing well. Looks healthy. Kind of ADHD, isn't he? If you watch this full video, he's a pretty high-strung guy. Got a lot of energy. It's a little bit too much for me, but it seems like a decent guy. All in all, I'm happy that Eddie Guerrero's car found a new home. But what do you guys think? That's all I got to say about that. But I did want to share that one with you guys here, just in case you missed it. And get your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about the Lowrider down in the comments below. More so, I'd love to have a conversation about Vanilla fucking Ice. Ice Ice Baby. I saw Vanilla Ice live once. Saw him at a gathering of the Juggalos, by the way. Speaking of Violent J from ICP. And he did Ice Ice Baby. And he did like the alter, like he did like half Ice Ice Baby. And then he switched into like his rock rap version. You know, back in the Fred Durst days, he did like a remix of Ice Ice Baby. Probably also because Suge Knight was getting all the royalties from the first version of it. Anyway, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Peace, love, and pizza. I'm your boy Seth Grimes, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next Ice Ice Baby. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta add the ch in there, otherwise it's copyright infringement.
Oh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah, and you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Oh yeah, dig it.